Hey guys, it's been a while since I've made one of these tutorial videos. It's not really a tutorial video, it's more like a demonstration video of how I edit. Well, here at Tag 91.1, during Ramadan, I find that this time it's not as busy as usual. Thank goodness. So what I do during Ramadan is I work on updating a lot of the radio imaging for the station. And one of them, and I do a lot of these, and one of them is, as you will see here in my session, I update a lot of what we call music demos. Now, what are music demos? Music demos are basically, it's an exhibition of what we play on the station. I have music demos for the, like the general playlist. I have music demos for our afternoon show. I have music demos for after the late night show is done. I have music demos for the weekends. So that's 4 shows. So all 4 shows have, their own music demos. And what you're going to see here in my demonstration is my music demos for Valentine's. I know it's been a while. I'm just updating these for next year because, the month is almost over anyways. I'll show you what I do. So this is my Pro Tools session here. As you can see here, it's a template. It's an old template I've made. So there are 3 parts to this. One is the intro, and then the song, and then the mid-tro, something that cuts in between, bridging the 2 songs, and then the second song, and then outro. Basically, it ends the music demonstration or the music demo. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how I do these music demos. So I'm going to choose 2 songs. I already pre-selected 2 of these songs, and they are 80s classics of love songs. And here we go. Let me just choose them right now. So it's going to be All I Need by Jack Wagner, followed by Can't Fight This Feeling Anymore. I'm sorry, Can't Fight This Feeling by Rio Speedwagon. So I'm going to bring them over to my session. So as you can see here, Pro Tools converts the audio sample type that matches what is in the template or in the session. So in this case, I had MP3 songs, MP3 file songs, and Pro Tools converted it to WAV files that matches what I have here. Okay. So I'm just going to pull them first into the session. As you can see, there they are. So what we have here is All I Need by Jack Wagner. So just so you have an idea what that song is. Okay, and then the other song is Can't Fight This Feeling. It's one of my favorites, actually. Forgive me, I don't know the actual lyrics. I'm not a singer. It's no excuse though, right? Anyways. So, what I need from these 2 songs is I need to know what are the hooks. Now, what are hooks? Hooks are basically the chorus of the song. Why are they called hooks instead of choruses? Well, you need to know what a hook is. A hook, it doesn't always have to be a chorus. Sometimes it could be the intro of the song that is a hook. A hook is what is deemed as the most famous part of the song that will get listeners to sing along with the song. So for All I Need, let's check if it's the intro, that is the hook. Nope, it's not. Okay, let's check if it's, when the first part of the lyrics comes in. Possible, that could be a hook. But more than half of the time, like 80 to 90% of the time, a hook is usually the chorus of the song because everybody sings the chorus, right? So in this case, just for easier explanation, easier demonstration, let's look for the chorus. I don't know what it is. All I need obviously that is going to be the hook that we're going to use. So what I do is, if you notice, I split the track. I split the file. Yeah, I split the file there, so I know that I'm going to be choosing this part later on. Okay, now I need to get the hook of the second song. I want it to be higher than the first. I mean, I want it to be more energetic than the first hook. Okay, so probably the stronger hook here will be the second time or the third time the chorus is said here. Is it this? Yep, it's that one. So okay, so now that we've labeled what our hooks are, we're going to try to put these into the template, into the template that I made. Okay, so usually what I do first is I have to decide which one will be the first song and which will be the second song. So I always have this rule in making music demos: slow and then fast. That's my usual rule. Sometimes I break my rule depending on like how strong the song is. But I want to do it that way, like slow first and then fast later, is because you want to get the momentum going, right? You can't, if the song is fast and then you bring it slow later on, or for the second song, people will know what happened there and the momentum is very obvious. What do I mean? Okay, so it's, let's say the BPM of the first song is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my mid-roll will come in, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, so at least there's a progression in the speed. Whereas if I do it fast first and then slower second, so it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a mid-roll, like an effect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? So while you're dancing like really fast and you're gonna go slow, you know that awkward feeling when you're like moving really fast and you go slow. You have to adjust yourself to the new norm, which is a slower version. Whereas if you're doing it slow and then you go fast, it feels more natural. You'll understand what I mean when you get to this. I mean, when I start putting it together. Okay, so let's try to find out which one is the slower version of the two songs. Let's go with the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I know right away that this song, Can't Fight This Feeling, is slower than All I Need. Why? Another way of finding out which one is faster, which one is slower, sometimes is more than half of the time. Okay, this is probably like a 60-70% rule. I put the two songs side by side, and the one that's longer is obviously the slower song because it takes a slower pace for the song to complete versus a shorter one, like here. It'll be done faster. That's why the file is shorter. Okay, so we're gonna do here. Okay, so now that I know which one is the slower one and which one is the faster one, I'm going to use the intro of the song, of the slower song, to start the music demo. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be using that to start the demo. So I'm going to be going all the way here.
Masasabi mo bang theme song mo?
Okay. If you noticed, it's like everything is happening all at the same time because my intro is a little too loud. So what I would do, so it's not, I mean, neither of them like overlaps one another. So I put one on a different frequency. So if you notice here on my, I'm going to move it here to this layer right here, because basically I have a high pass EQ there. So where I cut the bass and I cut the highs, I just leave the mids in there. So if I play it, let me just isolate that first. Do you hear the difference? Versus if it's on a just, as is. So as is, it covers the entire spectrum of the low, mid, and high. If I put it here, it's only at a certain portion, certain frequency, the middle, as you can see here in my EQ. Okay? Now, obviously, I can't like select this and show you like what it looks like because there are like 4 layers in there. Yeah, there are 4 layers in there, but you'll hear what I mean if I play it. Usually, I increase the volume here a bit.
Masasabi mo bang theme song mo?
Okay? Try to isolate your ears and just listen to the song that's playing, okay?
Masasabi mo bang theme song mo?
Okay, if it's just normal, this is what it's gonna sound like.
Masasabi mo bang theme song mo?
Anyways, it's really subjective, but I would not rather do it that way because obviously, if you can hear the intro, it plays with a lot of highs, So what I want is it has highs and lows. It's pretty heavy and actually all of the entire spectrum there. So I just want the song just to float in the background without interrupting how the intro sounds like. So I usually put it here, the song. That way it only controls one frequency of the entire selection here.
Masasabi mo bang theme song mo?
You know what I mean? So now that I have that, I'm going to put the first hook, which the hook of that song over there. Zooming in. Okay. Okay, let's time it. Okay, and then I'm going to slowly fade out of that high frequency and go to the natural sound of the song. Obviously, I have to match the volume over there. It's at +2. But normally, I want it to like really, punch in there when the intro is done. Because basically, that's what the intro is for, to set up the stage. And now that the spotlight's on the song, I want the song to like pop in there.
Masasabi mo bang theme song mo?
You know what I mean? Okay, so now that we've created that intro over the first part of the song into the hook of the first song, now we're going to segue that to the next part, which is the midro. But how do we know when to insert the midro? Okay, so what I do, excuse me, what I would do is I would find the perfect timing when to insert it. Obviously, I would let the first part or the first 1/8. Okay, I won't go into too technical. I'll just look for the perfect timing when to insert the midro into this song. So.
Siguradong may.
Okay, so. Bam! So I would like to put it in there.
Siguradong may.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I would like to punch it there because I don't want to like, my style is I don't like the actual chorus to end before the metro comes in. I want to cut it when I know people will still continue to sing, So if we review it, started fighting for.
Siguradong may konting
to the shore. So people are singing, but because I interrupted their singing, now they're going to be paying attention to what interrupted their singing, which is the midtro. So instead of like them singing, they're going to be like, what the hell? Why'd you interrupt? So I caught their attention again. So this time, the hook I created is the midtro.
Siguradong
Okay, so again, I don't want like an interruption there. So I want people to pay attention now to the midtro.
Siguradong may konting kirot kahit papano.
What the?
Siguradong may konting kirot kahit papano.
Something happened there. What happened there?
Siguradong may konting kirot kahit papano.
Uh-oh. I did something wrong here. Uh-oh. Well, anyways. Okay. I think I made a mistake somewhere. I just don't know what I did.
Ng tag ibig. Papano kahit papano.
Where did that come from? Huh. I don't know, like, I made a mistake somewhere here. Shoot. Well, anyways, on with the lesson. I'll figure that out later on. Okay, so when this ends, the midtro ends, I want the hook of the next song to come in. So it's going to be this. So I don't need the first part of this song anymore, so I'm going to erase that. I'm going to bring in the other part here.
Siguradong may konting kirot kahit papano.
Okay, so we're just going to time that. Okay, I want to increase the volume there. Okay, so I want to insert now, I want to hook the third part, which is the intro, so that we can end this music demo. Bam, I put that in there because basically people by this time already know what I'm doing anyways. So I'm just creating hook after hook after hook. And then normally I just fade it out. I don't like look for another part of that song because again, I'm doing a lot of these. So I just want to get, I want to finish and get done with it. Okay, again, like what I did earlier, I'm just going to drop this a bit. I'm going to slowly drop the volume as people, now again, as they were seeing the second song, I want to cut it again so that now we can finally end it. I'm going to drop this again so that people will now pay attention to the outro. So what happened?
Ng tag ibig. Tag 91.1.
Okay, that would be cool. But then again, now, just like how we started in the beginning, I don't want this to just normally fade out, okay? I want to bring the entire song into a high pass. And I want it to end there. So, this is how I usually do it. So I'm just going to segue that. I'll let you hear what I mean as I finish this off. So what I did is this is the natural sound. And then after that, I wanted to exit this part and go here to the high pass. Let's do it from here.
Ng tag ibig. Tag 91.1.
So you know what I mean? Versus, so you have an idea what it sounds like if I put it as is.
To be sure what I feel.
One ng Tag EP.
One ng Tag EP. Tag 91.1.
I mean, it's still fine the way it sounds. It just doesn't have that, you know, that ending flair to it. Like it's fizzling out, it's dying. It's the end of the music demo. So I would rather have it this way. So this is how the final product looks like or sounds like.
Masasabi mo bang theme song mo? Theme song mo? Siguradong may konting kirot kahit papano. Kahit papano. Kahit papano. All I need is just a little more time to be sure what I feel.
One ng Tag EP.
One ng Tag EP. Tag 91.1.
And there you have it. That's just one of the many music demos that I'm updating while it's Ramadan here in the UAE. Now, if you want to hear more of these music demos, you know where to tune in. Tag 91.1, the only Filipino radio station here in the UAE. Thanks for watching.